leader is the Fan.
Welcome back, Power Trip Morning Show at 7:04. Mussman coming in. Roser coming in. Bonus is here now.
Hi, kids.
Hi. That's such a cool riff. All right, we could jam all day. We got the news to do. You ready for this?
Sure. This is KFAN News with Chris Hockey.
Hi. That's right. It's news time, ladies and gentlemen. Thousands of massagers are being recalled due to a risk of burns and fire. The Homedics company says some of their therapist-select percussion massagers can overheat while charging. Those, I think, were on sale everywhere for about $3 a piece over the Christmas time. So if you bought one of those, you might burn your house down. Be careful. If you looked at the skies this morning, is the sun up yet?
No,
it's cloudy here
yet.
anyway. You would have seen the moon, Venus, Mercury, and Mars all in alignment. The planets will be out before sunrise and will be best seen in an area with low light pollution and without obstructions, but that doesn't happen very often. Boom, 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 like that. We won't ever see it, but I bet it's cool.
That sounds cool, man.
Cloudy for 3 weeks.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, it has.
And it's just
We need
solidly
the sun,
gray
yeah.
for like 3 weeks.
We need the sun.
Sunshine would be good.
Yeah. You're my sunshine, Hogs.
That's real sweet of you, baby. The man seen in that viral video attacking the Las Vegas judge has been charged with attempted murder in connection with the attack. He was also charged with more than a dozen other crimes, including 6 counts of battery on a protected person. The man is accused of diving. Well, I don't know why they say accused. It's pretty obvious he did it. I think everybody's
Go
seen
over
it.
the bench.
Yeah, right.
Hell of a tackle, by the way. Like,
Yeah, it was.
awesome form. Back
Yeah.
in the day, American Gladiators, he would have been able to just fly through the Eliminator. Guy looks like he's got a lot of ups.
Yeah, looked like he's being sucked out a window on a plane.
Yep. My favorite Twitter response, multiple people made this, but basically was like, yeah, I think she made the right call.
Yeah.
On the whole denying probation or whatever. I forget exactly what.
I think it was denying probation.
Yeah. Either way. Jeez. Jumps over the bench and tries to attack her.
Sheesh. A lunar lander mission is being scrapped after suffering a critical malfunction less than a day after launch. Astrobotic Technology was trying to become the first private company to land on the moon, but the Peregrine spacecraft was hit with propulsion issues shortly after launch on Monday, keeping the vehicle from charging its batteries and causing a fuel leak. So no moon for you.
Brilliant.
All right.
And back on this day in 2007, ladies and gentlemen, Apple CEO Steve Jobs unveiled the first generation iPhone at the Macworld 2007 convention in San Francisco. Here's some audio.
Today, Apple is going to reinvent the phone.
And it did. Using a touchscreen, the
the
new
whole
device
thing.
combined the features of Apple's iPod with a mobile phone, allowing users to field phone calls and play music and videos, in case you don't know what an iPhone is.
Yeah.
It plays music?
Yeah, it does. It would be several more months before the game-changing phone officially went on sale in the United States in June of 2007 with a starting price of just under $500.
I remember the first person that I knew that had one. I couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
Right.
Same.
Like, where did you get that?
The first one I ever saw, the guy waited in line to get it, and I got to see it the first day, and it was mind-blowing. You couldn't believe it.
Right. It was the same way on the presentation. The presentation that he did, that's usually sort of an industry presentation. They did not announce it before that presentation. And in fact, it was the typical, this is the thing that people always say about Apple. They get to the end of the presentation is over, and he says, oh, just one more thing. And he's going to throw out there. And that one thing was the iPhone. And I remember, he went through, this was just when they didn't have an app store. They just had like 9 basic apps on it. And one of them, one that nobody was ever going to use, was Stocks. Right? And he clicks on the Stocks thing to just kind of show it. And he's got, of course, Apple stock up there. And it has shot up $20.
No kidding.
In the time that he has been making the presentation or
What a
something,
flex.
15 minutes.
Yeah.
What a flex.
And everybody just laughs. I mean, it instantly shot up. Yeah, it was what everybody had been waiting to come down the pike for 15 years.
It's kind of how I feel about Tuesdays on the Power Trip, because I'm always like, there's Chris Hockey, I'm Corey Cove, there's Meat Sauce Paul Lambert. Oh, and one more thing. Michael J. Mussman III.
Oh, what's going on, guys?
What up, Mr. Musk?
And that phone was only available on AT&T.
Yes,
For a long time.
It had that rounded, weird back to it.
I've still got my old one.
I know.
From the very first
That's
one.
so
I was
cool.
just going to say this because you
Did you
go into
sell
like
them,
an old
Zacho?
drawer, or we got like right in our mudroom there's this like bin that we just have old phones in that we're like, I guess we'll take it somewhere at some point.
Yeah.
But yeah, we have a ton of them sitting in there.
Have you guys seen the new movie, or I guess it's streaming now, the movie about Blackberry, the Blackberry movie. Have you guys seen that
I
one?
can't believe I haven't, because the dude from Always Sunny is in it.
Yeah,
and I've heard his performance is amazing.
I've heard it's great.
Yeah.
It is very good. But, they were flying high. They were the phone to have. And you see them when the iPhone comes out and the way they react to it.
Oh, sure.
Did they make
And-
a mistake?
They were convinced that it wasn't going to work. I mean, partly they were deluding themselves, but that wasn't an uncommon thought back then. Like, I remember the 2 months leading up to the iPhone, or maybe 6 months leading up to the iPhone being sold on the first day. The fact that you could only do one carrier with it. I think it got released end of June 30th or something like that. And I couldn't get mine until I got out of my Verizon contract or
Correct,
something,
yeah.
which was end of August. So that a lot of people had to wait. Everybody thought that was a problem. You can't cut and paste. That was a big deal. Had very.
Well, just the
it-
keyboard itself
yeah,
was
right.
very controversial.
They thought
Right,
that's
yes, Zach. Yes, a good point. Yeah, right.
I was still using that phone where you go, oh, God, I can text.
Right.
But it's going to cost me every freaking letter. And I got to go, okay, J, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. And you try to get to all of it.
Right. Well, and what behind the scenes in the industry, the question was sort of like, can these phone carriers support how much data it uses, how much bandwidth it needs to be able to provide all of the functionality that it has? And the thought process behind the industry was like, there's no way they're going to be able to support that.
Well, especially on day one, when Creasel and Hockey and Max got a hold of their phones, and AT&T / Apple was like, we are not going to be able to support this. If this is just like, the Three Kings, what do we do when the masses get...
Pornhub hadn't started at that point.
I was still trying to figure out how to play that game.
Sorry, Bonus. I didn't know that you knew the lineage of sweet porn stuff on your phone.
Wow, Bonus.
I was still spending my time at the DMV playing Snake on my phone.
Well, and Zach, to your point too, didn't BlackBerry basically base their whole bit on no one will want to type on a computer?
Well, that was a big part of it.
You can't
that was a big
feel.
part of it. Yeah, that was a big part of their piece. So at the end of that movie, I mean, I'm sure it's dramatized, right? But basically, you get to the point where BlackBerry is sort of the result, falls down as sort of result of a perfect storm, right?
Yeah.
They have to face the iPhone, which is a problem, and they finally realize where they're wrong about the data, because what they were doing was selling minutes. Right, they were buying that whatever provider was, they were providing minutes. That's how you bought airtime, right? What AT&T and Apple did is, no, we're selling data. And there gets to be a point where it's like, the problem with selling minutes is there's only so many minutes in a day that you can sell if you're AT&T. But we're selling data. And so therefore we can, if we can gear up as much as we can because we're getting money for the data. Yeah, and we're going to make a lot more money with the iPhone than we're ever going to make with the BlackBerry.
Wow.
Right? And then the other problem was the owner of it, who's just a dysfunctional a-hole, one of the owners of it, is also trying to buy an NHL team. And he's, as a dysfunctional a-hole, he ends up kind of getting screwed on that. So he's totally disrupted. And then on top of that, they have production issues. They can't keep up with that. And they end up going to China and all of their BlackBerries, after fighting, going to China to get all of their phones made forever because they don't trust Chinese quality. They finally give in and do it. And that next level of BlackBerry, which was supposed to save them, is full of defects.
You know why I love this show? Is most of the time we have no idea what we're talking about and we're idiots.
Yeah.
But then once in a while you just spin the wheel. I would have never guessed John Bonus knew almost everything about the history of BlackBerry.
And porn on your BlackBerry.
Yeah.
I watched one movie.
Still, I watched one movie. All the data.
But once in a while, one of us just off the top rope knows a whole bunch of something that you would have never guessed. Paul, your hands up. I can't wait to see what this is.
To bring it back to the power trip, the name of the company was RIM.
Was it really?
Yes.
Research in Motion.
Yes.
Yeah, that's
RIM.
right.
Yeah.
Canadian company, I believe.
Yes. Yeah, the whole thing is taking place out of an office park. Most of it is taking place out of an office park in rural Canada.
And you
is
went
where
there,
it was starting up, right? And it's basically the story of three guys doing it. One guy's just a tech brilliant guy. The other guy is also joins them, and he's a dysfunctional a-hole, but he knows business stuff, and he's a good negotiator. And then the third guy is like the friend of the tech guy, who's also a tech guy and totally not serious and just wants to have fun.
You basically described the power trip.
It's a fun movie.
I'm on their website right now. The company still exists, and
yes.
I mean they're looking to hire if you're looking for a rim job.
Yeah. You're on rim.com?
Yeah, right, go to rimjob.com right now.
Wow.
And they're looking to hire you. Zacho?
I mean,
yeah, Daddy.
Oh, no, Tommy already took it.
Oh, you've been hired.
But a couple of the BlackBerry phones were badass.
I mean,
they were great.
They had a devoted following to the point where Obama did not want to give up his BlackBerry even when the iPhone was going on because they couldn't secure a BlackBerry as well as they could secure other things, and it was hard to get him to give it up.
One last story, which kind of plays into all this, and I think it will be pretty fascinating. The annual CES trade show kicks off this week in Las Vegas. Ahead of tomorrow's formal open, NVIDIA is scheduled to hold a press conference today that promises to offer details on a broad spectrum of cutting-edge technology. Here it comes, ladies and gentlemen. The tech company says that will include the latest generative AI breakthroughs from robotics to gaming. So the world changes today.
And that Apple, what's the Apple AI bit that goes over your face, Zacho?
The Vision Pro.
That comes out soon, right?
Yeah, sometime this year.
Yeah.
That'll be everything that I've heard about that. It's a game changer, and it's only the first generation. So
That's
pretty
the
cool.
news.
February 2nd is the release date, it says.
Johnny Bones, one more?
Sure.
All right, one more with Johnny Bonus. Michael J. Mussman III swapped with Marnie Gellner. Marnie's in Orlando. Muss is here. Rosie will be here in like 15 minutes. It's the Power Trip on the Fan.
Go at the Fan.
All right, 7:22. There's Mussman. There's Bonus.
I will give you more when
And over there as well is the super sexy, awesomely talented Meets Us Paul Lambert. And you've got sports for us, don't you?
I do. Yes, I do.
They've never known the joy of a welfare Christmas.
This is such a good tune. Have you seen these guys, Hawk?
Yeah, a few times. Yeah.
Have you played with them?
I have, yeah. I love them. I love a simple band like this, man. Write the same song 10 times. I don't care. I love it.
Corey, you love this band, right?
No, but I loved the album Sparkle and Fade.
So good.
Specifically for Heroin Girl, but I did love that entire album.
Yeah.
It also lined up almost perfectly with me getting my license.
Have you seen them?
Yeah, I've seen them live, I think, a couple of times.
Moss, I'm going to buy you a garden.
I don't know who this is.
This is Everclear. Oh, I'm going to buy you a garden where your flowers can bloom.
You know Santa Monica, right?
I love when you take care of my flowers.
That song.
Oh, yeah.
It's time you finally bloomed.
It's time for Fan 5 on the Power Trip, presented by All Around Property Preservation.
Yeah.
Michigan beat Washington 34-13 to win the national championship. They finished the season 15-0. It's their first national championship since 1997 when they shared it with Nebraska. They won it in 1948. They ran for 303 rushing yards. They were in control for most of the game. They held on almost every play. And now we get to wait and see what John Harbaugh does.
What do you mean,
Jim?
Yeah.
That was a test. You all passed.
Yeah. Or what Jack Harbaugh
We also get to
does.
see what John Harbaugh does now.
Right.
Yeah. What
Jim's
Jim-
got to
I
leave.
wrote, yeah.
He has to leave,
Did anybody
right?
else hear somebody scream? Ah!
That was Zach.
Oh. Zach, did you scream?
Because I didn't bring
Not
up.
this time.
Well, this will help. J.J. McCarthy barely threw for 150 yards.
That's funny, man. Best quarterback in the history of college football.
With his helmet off.
You see the bit he does before the game?
Barely threw for 150. He threw for 140.
Yeah,
Was that a test?
No, I was just trying to get Zacho involved.
Oh, okay.
But Harbaugh has to, right?
But he's got the ultimate leverage now. He just won them a national championship.
I know, and he could always stay at Michigan, but I'm also...
Why would you do that?
Right.
Yeah.
Doesn't he also have, the NCAA still kind of coming down on him a little bit?
Yeah, you got to run from that.
Now you've reached the pinnacle. So if you don't do it again in the rest of your career, then it's, it was great that you did that, but...
It's a pretty comfortable life being a championship winning
I don't think it is
coach.
College football coach.
Yeah.
It's
a lot more so than being a rookie NFL, not rookie, but because he's already done before, but NFL coach.
But there's a whole lot more people to do a whole lot more jobs as an NFL coach, man. You got to go everywhere and do everything as a college coach, and you got to deal with the NIL now.
The best gig in sports right now, when you're at that level, is broadcasting.
Yeah,
well, that's true too.
You work essentially one day a week for about 5 months and just get paid millions and millions and millions of dollars.
I think he's too weird for that.
Yeah.
He's
Probably.
weird, man.
He's weird.
Jim Harbaugh, after last night's game, after the press asked him what he was going to do now, and this is all he said.
Yeah, I'm just going home, grab a shower and a shave, give the wife a little pickle tickle, and I'm on my way.
Yeah, see, he's weird.
2 years ago, he was convinced he was the Vikings coach.
Yeah.
And then he learned he was not and went back to Michigan.
I was told by a couple people they had the jersey printed with his name on the back of it. Yeah.
Did the Vikings decide,
I don't know.
Did he decide?
They've kept that pretty quiet, but all I know is he was, as Corey said, I think he showed up like, well, here are my coaches, and they were like, well, wait a minute. I got a text here. I got to respond to this, and then we'll talk. But I think he showed up thinking it was his job, and they were like, no, we're going to have an actual interview. It didn't go well.
He was only here for 8 hours. I do remember that.
Yeah.
He was in, he was gone.
Loser.
Who said that? Ziggy.
All right. The Wild lost 4-0 to the Stars last night. Zacho, the Wild have lost 5. Okay. They've lost 5 of 6. They battle the Stars again tomorrow in Dallas at 6:30.
Yeah, special teams 0 for 6 on the power play. They gave up 2 more
brilliant
shorthanded goals against this team that they gave up 2 shorthanded goals a few months ago. So this is, it was a winnable game at the start because they started out great, but something happened in that first intermission. And also Matt Murray, the goaltender for the Stars. That's just unacceptable. I'm trying to be nice, but that was a tough loss. So the good news is they have a chance tomorrow for some redemption, 6:30 right here on the Fan.
Duh. Here's John Hines on what went wrong in the loss.
There was some things we didn't want to shoot the puck. There was times where we had, they're in a diamond and it could, boldly back to favor. Like the one time when you look at it and you see what's going on, we just were slow in our thought process and looking for a better play when the right play was to shoot the puck. There's things that I think are easily fixable. Just, it wasn't a good night on the power play. And, I think at the end of the day, we didn't score a goal, which you're not going to win many games on it. But I think that was the biggest difference in the game.
They had a 47-second 5-on-3, and they didn't get a shot.
Come on.
How do you,
that's bad.
It was not a good night at the X.
Great.
But again, the Stars tomorrow at Dallas this time, and
What's the point?
we'll see what they can do in the Big D.
Go to hell.
Oh, man, everybody's pissed. I'm sorry.
What did Zacho do? The Wolves battle the Magic tonight at 6 o'clock. Marnie will be on lead vocals on the Bally Sports broadcast. The Wolves are 25-10. They are 4.5-point favorites in the game tonight. And they've lost, I think, 3 of 4, so we'll see how they can battle back and maybe get on a little bit of a winning streak, Maxo.
Yeah, they have been struggling a lot lately. They've been in a tough stretch in this, 16-game stretch of teams above 500. And the defense has been kind of suffering lately, but it's more so been the offense. The ball isn't really moving a lot. They're turning over the ball. It's a little overly reliant on Ant and Cat having fantastic nights every single night. So the other guys got to step up and People like Naz Reid got to look for a shot more. Even someone like Mike Conley, who's not really like a scorer. That's not his role on the team. But everybody's got to look for their shot more because the offense has just been haywire. And like I said earlier, Paolo Banchero, probably the leader of this Orlando Magic team, that's been the surprise team of the NBA all season. He's been maybe the best player in the NBA throughout the month of January, about 36 points per game. 9 rebounds, and I think 6 assists. That's damn near a triple-double throughout the whole month of January. So this Magic team is formidable, man. It's a great name. I think it's fun to say. Paolo Banchero.
That's a terrible
Thanks a lot, dudes.
Oh, Pee-wee loves it.
Yeah, thanks,
Musty. Tiger Woods has parted ways with Nike. He announced it yesterday on social media. He signed with Nike after turning pro at age 20. He's been with the brand for 27 years.
Yeah, isn't it like a $500 million thing that's for him? It's multi-billion dollars with that connection there. And I would guess that because hasn't Nike like shut down a bunch and they've fired some people and stuff like that. When they got out of golf, making the actual golf equipment, that was the first sign that, okay, this is going the wrong way. Especially with Tiger. Now he's going to play with different equipment. He's already done that. I wouldn't be shocked if he creates kind of like the Golden Bear creates his own like line of stuff. Arnie Palmer. Yeah. I mean, obviously, like McGregor and those were kind of behind those, but they had. Oh yeah, there you go. And I wouldn't be surprised if he actually like creates his own line of.
I can't do it.
Oh, he says he can't do it.
Yeah, he doesn't want to do it. The NFL playoffs begin Saturday with the wild card round. The Texans host the Browns on Saturday at 3:30. The Browns are 2.5-point favorites.
Boy.
That guy's pumped. The over is that, and then does he say yucky?
What was happening when he got to that boy?
Exactly. What is he? What movie is that?
I forget the name of it. Where
is
it
the one
called Long Shot?
Yeah, it's so good. What is her name? That lady.
Charlize. Right?
Yeah, it's so good.
Seth Rogen.
Isn't he like watching her like just on TV or something?
Yeah, he's reading to her on his computer.
Yeah.
It wasn't again, I haven't seen it, but isn't the plot they grew up together or something like that?
Yeah, I think so. Isn't she like...
And then she got to be super famous or the
vice
president or whatever.
She's running for president, right?
Yeah,
okay.
It's
and he
great.
does what, Hawk?
Oh, boy.
I just love it. So yucky.
Guys are the worst.
Yeah, the over-under on that game is 44.5. That game can be heard right here on the Fan. Dolphins and Chiefs follow at 7. That game is only on Peacock. The Chiefs are 3.5-point favorites. The over-under is 43.5. Then they have a triple header on Sunday. Bills hosting the Steelers. The Bills are up to 10-point favorites, and the over-under is 35.5. Packer in Dallas to battle the Cowboys.
35.5?
35.5 is the over-under. So they think...
Really?
Yeah. I will double-check because...
Certainly not.
Are you guys pissed off at all about the whole Peacock thing? Where it's
I have Peacock.
Oh, well, congratulations.
Well, I mean, all the Bravo shows are on there. We have to have Peacock.
Oh, man. That just... What?
Yeah, 35
That really sucks. I mean,
35
it's not like a regular season game or something like that, you know? I mean...
It's stupid.
It's the playoffs.
It's the playoffs.
And you can't get it, and then you're like, okay, well, now I got to call around to bars and see who's got Peacock.
Well, here's the other thing. A lot of bars don't have it.
Right.
I mean,
why would they spend the money on it? Because they're not showing Bravo.
Honestly, I think that is their a big part of their play on this is that they're trying to get bars to sign up for streaming services.
Sure.
Like Amazon Prime on Thursday nights or Peacock for the playoffs.
Is this one of those deals where you can actually just, sign up for the free trial, watch the game?
Maybe.
And if you remember, then you actually cancel it. If you're hockey, you didn't realize you've been paying for it for the last 20 years.
Plus, it's like $8 a month.
Yeah.
Have 2 fewer beers every month in Peacock.
How dare you, sir? Live your life.
Yeah, and as Corey said, if you cancel it, his coffee maker will just sign up for it again.
You got it.
Yeah. I'm telling you, and I said this yesterday, and BDI's over there scoffed at it. They are banking some on Taylor Swift fans will sign up for Peacock just to see her at the game.
No.
Because it's the only way to watch it.
You're not wrong on that.
That's why.
Yeah, I don't know what the percentage would be of the breakdown of that, but
yeah. Which we're not going to knock Housewives.
Hey, let's be honest. She's probably the biggest reason why people are watching the Chiefs this year. They haven't been that great.
Yeah, but it's playoff time. How about if they win, they will play their first road playoff game in the Mahomes era.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
He's been that good.
But yeah, it's going to be a great weekend, right,
Dolphins,
Hogs?
man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
go Dolphins.
I
I want the
playoff
Dolphins.
As much
too.
as I wish that the Vikings could have made it into the playoffs, it is super sweet to have no plans this weekend.
Yeah, except for garage beers
What
and
are you
you and
gonna
bonus
do?
finding a bar.
Garage beers?
Garage beers and crock-potting. You got it.
Oh,
Yeah.
Are we invited?
Heaven. Yeah.
Okay.
Anytime.
It's the most Minnesota weekend I've ever heard. Johnny Bonus, twinsdaily.com.
TwinsDaily.com, ZoneCoverage.com, HockeyWilderness.com, Cleveland Energy Podcast.
BlackberryHistory.com.
That's right.
All right, you're the best, dude. Thanks for the
Love
coffee.
you. Yeah, well,
buddy, see you
obviously.
later.
Bonus.
Rosie is next. This is the Power Trip on the Fan.
St. Paul, the Fan.
There goes Johnny Bones. In walks Mark Rosen. Hi, Roser.
Good morning. Hi.
Rosie.
Hi, gents.
Rosie Muss, Rosie.
Yeah, I've
Mark, how are you, buddy?
seen you for a long time. Yeah, like 3 days or so. At least we talked to you.
Yeah, you talked on
Days
the phone
ago.
this time. Yeah.
Yeah.
We won't get to talk after a Vikings game for
No,
8 months,
it's going to be a while.
Yeah,
No.
yeah.
Hey, Muss, back to when Marnie texted you late last week and said, are you interested in swapping?
I instantly said yes,
Right.
yes.
And then you had follow-up questions.
Right, and then
we're disappointed.
I realized it was a show and not with Matt.
Wow. That was aggressive.
Truth, though. You know, sometimes the truth is aggressive.
What would your monster of a wife thought of that swap?
I have no
Oh,
idea.
she'd
She'd
been all
probably
for
be
it.
happy that
Yeah.
somebody else.
All for it.
Oh, okay. My God.
Anyway,
I love
Marnie's
the
in
swap.
Orlando.
Yeah, that's awesome. She's amazing.
Play-by-play.
How many
tonight on
games?
Dallas.
What's the tally that she has now? That
She said under 10.
She said
I thought it was
under
way
10.
more than that.
So did I.
Right,
Yeah, I
she's
would've
done,
thought so.
obviously.
Oh, she's doing the play-by-play tonight?
For the
Yeah.
Wolves, yeah.
Oh, fantastic.
Michael
Yeah, when it comes to
Grady's
links,
doing
obviously,
an
she's done a
NBA
lot.
TV game or something. Right. She's been
got
on
it.
lead vocals a ton, like Chris just said. But
Right.
she said the other day, just yesterday, it was under 10 for the Wolves.
That's
I would
wonderful.
have guessed
I'm
more
shocked
than
by
that.
that.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, big game.
I hope
tonight.
she doesn't blow it.
Jalen Suggs.
She doesn't blow it.
Good
This is
Lord.
Marnie tonight.
And boom goes the dynamite.
Hey, so you know what we should do? This
Razor
would be
Miller's
fun.
looking good.
Here's another trip we'll never do. Alan Horton, play-by-play guy for the radio, or for the Wolves, is making his initials debut on Friday.
Oh, sweet.
Remember years ago we asked to have him on and we were yelled at and told not to do that.
Yeah.
Well, now he's part of the iHeart family, so we can be on. What if we get key plays from tonight and have Marnie's call versus Alan's call, and then we vote in front of them on Friday on who did it better?
Passes it to the man.
That's Marnie. And boom goes the dynamite.
Right.
Marnie doesn't have to say as much because, the pictures kind of do the job for her. So it wouldn't be a fair comparison.
Well,
but
since when are we fair?
no, you're
Yeah,
not.
right.
That's true.
We're just looking to rip.
Yeah, correct.
Duh.
Yeah.
Let's get both and
Familiar
compare
with
them
it.
side by side.
Yeah, we need to do that.
Yeah. It won't be awkward for either one of them.
No, not at all.
It'll be great.
Rosie, I hear you were a part of the radio broadcast within the last week or so with Mr. Alan Horton.
Well, now that they're part of the family, I said it in the second quarter, and the Wolves may have played their worst quarter of
Thanks a lot.
the year. Basically, I can't remember when the producer handed me a sheet when I was done going, well, congratulations, the Wolves were minus 11 when you were on.
Oh, great.
And I said, thanks a lot. It was just an awful performance by the Wolves. They had I think New Orleans was like the night before they were ready for the Wolves. They came in there and Zion just destroyed them inside. It's not a really good matchup for Minnesota, but they were they never got any better the rest of the night. So it was not a good night for the Wolves. But those happen in an 82 game schedule. So
It's time for Vikings.
hopefully it'll be better tonight. They're going through kind of
Presented by
the gauntlet of their schedule right now.
That's right. We talked about it earlier, and I even played some of the audio, guys, but the season's over.
It is?
Obviously.
Oh.
And Kirk talked about his contract situation and much more. We played it earlier. I'll play it again.
Yep.
Here's Kirk Cousins on the timeline. No, you know what? I'm going to play this one first. This is Kirk Cousins on it not being about the money.
I think that God has blessed me financially beyond my wildest dreams. So at this stage in my career, the dollars are really not what it's about. I had a coach who I was with who was a younger coach at the time. This was back 8-9 years ago, before my first franchise tag. And we were talking about the situation, and he made a great comment. He said, Kirk, it's not about the dollars, but it is about what the dollars represent.
There you go. There's the key phrase, because that's what his agent's hanging on to. Because I'm sure his agent's going, wait, what?
Yeah. We're not taking less. We're not taking less.
Quasey goes in there with Rob Brzezinski and goes, hey, according to Kirk, it's not about the money. So here's a $25 million a year contract.
Kirk always says everything just so well. I mean, so really well thought out. I mean, if you just listen to that bite again, is the fact that he's saying everything that every Vikings fan says. Right. It's like, oh, man, it's all about the money. And he diffuses that bomb. No, it's not about the money. I mean, he's just brilliant in how he presents himself.
Well, and it isn't all. He's realistic about it. He's got tons of money, and he's set for life in his next family, his next generation. As Andy McPhail said, how many generations are we talking about here? When players used to talk about, I got to take care of my family. And
you don't think Kirk Cousins is going to be like one of those NBA players within 3 years after he retires?
He bought a golf course. What the heck? Yeah, Michigan. So, but still, his agent's kind of get in the middle of that stuff, and I think they're going to work something out.
I cannot wait to steal that in the next negotiation here at iHeart. I'm going to go up to the bosses and go, it's not about the money, it's about what the money represents.
Right. Let's write that down as our motto.
We get to negotiate?
Chris and I do.
Yeah.
You don't?
Kirk
Nope.
Talked about, everybody's wondering, will the Vikes take a quarterback in the draft? And this is what Kirk had to say.
Every year, in a sense, in my career, there's always that potential of a new quarterback being brought in, and there's always a succession plan. I mean, I don't think you can do your job as a leader of an organization without saying, what's our succession plan? What do we have down the pipeline? That's just being responsible and due diligence. Whether it was Nate Sudfeld being drafted in Washington, Kellen Mond, Jaron Hall, I mean, there's always going to be that dynamic of what's our plan moving forward.
Was Kellen Mond ever part of the plan?
Of course he was.
I guess he was.
Wrong.
Yeah.
I like how he's listing all the people. Did it matter? No. Still the guy.
Yeah.
No.
Are you worried, Kirk, about your injury and how that's going to affect free agency?
I'm not going to try to sell myself, if you will. I kind of like to let people make their own decisions, because I do think that the league needs quarterbacks. And if you're trying to talk yourself out of a quarterback, then I can't help you much. The Achilles is going to heal, and it's on track, and I'm a pocket passer, and there's a lot of time before next season. So for a lot of reasons, it doesn't concern me, but I can't, convince other people that, then that's okay.
Yeah, the league needs quarterbacks.
Yeah, man, I love it.
There's the headline.
Correct.
Of all the answers he gave yesterday, that's the swaggiest one of them.
Wasn't it? Yeah. Look around.
I know
Look who started a lot of games last year, and my absence has been felt, certainly here in Minnesota and elsewhere.
If you want to know if Kirk Cousins is returning to the Vikings, interview KOC and/or Justin Jefferson.
Right.
Those are the two biggest reasons that he's coming
I think
back.
you feel the same way, Mus. I'd be shocked if he doesn't come back.
Yeah.
I mean, and it's not to suggest that the Vikings don't have a plan, but it doesn't always mean because you have a plan for his successor, that quarterback sauce is going to be there.
Russell Wilson?
And be in the draft. And,
Baker
the Packers
Mayfield?
had a success. They had Jordan Love, and there's very few that wait 3 years or so to get their chance, because we've got to get them out there. The Bryce Youngs and all the other, go play them. You draft them, you get them out there. If you got a high draft pick, although we'll see how the quarterbacks fall in the draft. But that's not to suggest this team has so many needs.
Yeah, I have a ton,
and it's not necessarily because you're going to take a guy if they sign Kirk who's not probably going to play this year. I'm thinking I'm interested certainly in you want both, but you're not going to have both. I want the dominant defensive player that can come in and help this team out immediately, as opposed to a quarterback who's going to sit and watch for 2 more years.
Two things. One, there are about 7 teams in the top 11 that need a quarterback. Okay. So that's a tough thing. And PA said this yesterday. In 2020, we heard it was like the best wide receiver draft. And then, was it last year? It's one of the best tight end drafts. Mm-hmm. He said it's early, but he is hearing that this is one of the better quarterback drafts. But the first 3 teams need quarterbacks. And even if that first pick doesn't go to the Bears, they will trade it to somebody who is going to take a quarterback. So they got some tough sledding up in front
the Bears
of them.
obviously have a big decision to make with Justin Fields. And one way or another. He's gonna be playing football somewhere next year.
I'm telling you right now, and I like that kid a lot.
Justin?
Yeah.
Yeah.
If I'm in the Bears front office, if I'm a Bears fan, I do not believe in Justin Fields. You take that quarterback.
You take
man.
Caleb Williams.
You take that quarterback.
You have to.
And you trade Justin away while he's got some kind of value. I don't know, man. You can't say what he's done over the last 3 years it can be based on what he did this year for half the season, because the other half of the season he was terrible.
Yeah, but he's still kind of he might be figuring it out too.
They also try to make him a pocket.
He looked terrible on Sunday. The other thing too with the Bears is you also take him and it extends your life as a GM for a little bit longer. And they have the 9th overall pick. They have a ton of picks because of the trade they made last year. You could take Marvin Harrison 1 and then move up again and get your quarterback at 2 or 3.
Man, what a fun position to be in for them.
They're in a great position.
And I believe their salary cap is fantastic.
Yes.
Too.
$60 million or something like that, right?
Crazy, man. What a good
spot. Aren't there 4 teams with over $60 million in cap space?
Yeah. Plus more cap space.
Our guy Kevin Warren has got a lot to say about that, so it's going to be interesting.
If I'm the Bears, by the way, Sauce, I do it the opposite way, right? You can't gamble on the quarterback part of it. You take, if you want Caleb Williams, you go Caleb Williams 1, and then you find a way to get back up and get Marvin Harrison.
Agreed.
I mean, that's
quarterback matters more.
That's what Houston did last year. They took CJ at 2 and then immediately
Will Anderson.
Because you can't risk taking Will Anderson at 2 and then the Cardinals at 3 going, we have a way better deal. We're taking this, and then you're SOL.
Yeah.
Right?
And it worked out for them, by the way. Did it not?
Huge. Yeah, they won the division with a rookie coach and a rookie quarterback.
Amazing story.
Yeah, incredible.
Yeah.
That's fun.
Yeah, it'll be interesting though, because I think the Bears all offseason are going to sell that pick is for sale, and they're going to try and sell it either to the highest bidder or the day of the draft. We're going to go, all right, they're taking Caleb.
Well, they said, as Kirk talked about too, because of the way that the NFL's year is laid out, the free agencies taken care of before the draft. So Kirk will, in all likelihood, sign before, and all the top players before the draft, and then was it the end of April again?
Yep, April 25th is the first day.
What if you're the Bears and you trade and you get something good, and you also get next year's number 1 pick?
Well, I think, Hawk, back to Houston, I think that's what the Cardinals thought they were going to get. When they made that pick, they were going, of course we'll take, you guys are going to start a rookie with a rookie head coach. You're going to win 3 games.
Yeah, that's a good pick.
I think that's what Arizona thought they were going to get into.
Does Stroud get the Rookie of the Year offensively?
Sure.
Or is it Puka?
I mean, it's or Laporta, but it's the quarterback.
The quarterback always gets the
it'll be the
most
quarterback.
votes.
I mean, they went to the playoff. So did the Rams. Yeah. There's a lot of good players from last year's draft that are making huge differences. The draft is fun, man. Thanks, old lady. But I saw yesterday, which is just devastating. Had basically the Raiders marched down the field and scored that touchdown, and the season went the rest of the way like it did, we'd have the 6th overall pick. Devastating.
Well, not necessarily.
Because we have the 11th, right?
11th,
Yeah. I hear where you're coming from, but it's like we talked about earlier. Make the right pick no matter where you pick.
Yeah, correct. Yeah.
What?
You heard what I said, lady.
Wow.
Pretty snarly.
I think she likes you.
Howly.
Yeah, Hawk likes that.
Yeah, I do.
He does.
He likes when they're mean.
He kind of does. That's me I'm talking about.
Yeah. You're talking about Rosen.
Third person. Nice.
Yeah.
Anyway, so there you go. That's the Vikings news. And the playoffs happened this weekend, Rosen. We're all pumped up.
Yeah, it's fun. It's a fun weekend. I think a lot of folks of a certain demographic are going, wait, we have to watch what's Peacock? And that's the exclusive. A lot of people are not happy about that.
I am one of them.
Because you have to pay extra, right?
Well, yeah, I don't have the money that these guys have. We're like, we already have that.
And that's the Kansas City game.
Yeah,
right?
man.
Kansas City, Miami.
The one I'm most excited about this weekend.
But Hawk will pay
That's
for
one you're
Peacock
most
for
excited.
everybody.
3 times.
Yeah, he'll pay for it.
Yeah, just sign up.
I should just say my password on the air.
Just go right
Hey, Moss, it's $5.99 a month. So
that's a little
that's
steep.
about
That's
a beer.
It's a garage beer.
You have to
Plus
remember,
food.
I think that's what a stamp costs these days.
Yeah, correct.
like the Sopranos, isn't that 25 years they're celebrating, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're running a marathon right now. I was watching it last night in between plays of the championship game.
I remember when it was on, and around K102, one person actually had HBO because they had money.
Oh.
And so we would actually just pass around the VHS. And it was like, when do I get the next 3 episodes? Come on.
Yeah.
like you guys talking about the iPhone. I mean, that was 2001, 2002. That was a good time.
I bet that changed everything in your industry, man. When doing TV news back then.
Oh, did it ever?
Communication between people and sharing videos and stuff like that, and
crazy.
pornography.
Wow, you were sharing pornography with
that
who?
was his business back then.
That was
you had a business
side hustle.
What he and Shelby did is their own business.
Hey, Sauce, one last thing on the old NFL draft.
Yes.
17 hours ago, you tweeted, Jaden Daniels, the LSU quarterback, is the only quarterback in this draft I would move up for. He threw 17 touchdowns and 1 interception in his last 5 games and also rushed for 6.
Yeah. I stand by that.
I'll stand by you.
Oh, yay!
And I have more on this. This will shock all of you. I took some notes on him yesterday because I'm going to talk extensively with him, maybe in a draft podcast with somebody we all love.
You going to talk with him?
Yeah, no, not with him. But he also, the other thing about him is he dominated bad competition. And you hear that a lot with some of these quarterbacks. You're like, they struggled against some of these really bad teams. Jaden Daniels is the only guy I would trade up for.
Let's say Caleb Williams falls to 8.
Yeah.
And the Vikings are picking 11th. Would you trade up for Caleb Williams?
No, I wouldn't take
What
Caleb
if it was
Williams.
pick 9?
No. I would
10.
wait till I would wait till 11.
Caleb Williams?
No, I think Caleb Williams is going to be a bust.
He's trying to stand by it right now.
What if Drake May is on the board at pick? Drake May is on the board at pick 10.
No, I wait.
So there's no other quarterback you trade up
for your riddles. No,
except for Jaden Daniels.
Yes, I stand by that.
I'll stand by you.
He had to.
You almost
Doesn't he play for the Wolves or something?
Who's that?
That's Jaden McDaniel.
Oh.
Hawk loves that guy.
I do. He's real good, man.
What position does he play?
Whatever you ask him to. He's a team player.
He is a team player.
Role player.
Don't you try to trick me with your beady eyes.
You talking to him or me?
You
have
I don't
beady
have
eyes.
beady eyes.
Hell,
when
you
you're
don't.
trying to trap me, they go beady.
Okay.
You're the first person I've met who doesn't like Caleb Williams.
He does. He just wasn't going to let him trap him. He loves him.
Of course. Sauce would trade up for all of the quarterbacks.
Yeah, at one point, I think last year I said I would take all of them, and then I skipped Bryce Young in my mock draft.
Sure did.
What an idiot.
Draft expert.
Yeah, what an idiot.
Didn't have Bryce in the first round. Maybe that was right.
Yeah.
We just didn't know it at the time.
Yeah.
Right.
Look how it turned out.
Carolina.
If you redid it, I doubt he'd go in the first round.
You should go back and see, I'm a genius. I told you they shouldn't have been a first round pick.
Yeah.
Go back and hit that meat mock.
Is there more of
Repost
a?
it.
Is
I
there,
should do a meet.
is there a sports franchise that's in more disarray than the Carolina Panthers right now?
No.
My God,
Yeah, that's a
everything
mess.
that. Wow.
They actually make Washington not look
That's
so bad, right?
Correct.
All right, 8 o'clock hour of the Power 2 Morning Show. Muss is here. Rosie is here. This is The Fan.